Welcome back to Afternoon Live. In order to embrace the optimism of the new year, you may need to leave some negativity from the previous year in the past. Here with tips on how to release what isn't serving you, we welcome back motivational speaker John Register. Happy New Year. Great to see you.
Happy New Year. Awesome to see you as well.
How do we kickstart success in the new year without putting too much pressure on ourselves? Because sometimes we overdo it with the resolutions and things like that.
Yeah, resolutions are good for some people.
Yeah.
I tend to think that, how do we just go back and just think about what we've all been through, because some people have some great experiences that they had with 2023, and some people not so great. A lot of times during the holidays we have a death in the family, and so it brings us down. Or we have somebody that had a birth in the family, and it brings us up, right? So kind of that perspective. The challenge is, can we just leave the past there, celebrate it, but then move into what might be the new.
Yeah.
I think that timeline in the December to January timeline gets us to think in the freshness and newness of a start.
And learning from both those positive and negative experiences too. We can gain something good or bad.
Yeah, I think one of the things that, and what I try to do is, you make a list. And so an action step could be, you take all the things you thought were negative on one side of the list, and then you think all the things that were positive on the other side of the list, and you try to see, can I move some of those negatives over into the positive space, and then cut out all the negative, right?
That's a great
and then
idea.
Ball it up, burn it, whatever.
Yeah.
But you want to learn from it, right? You just, like you said,
Sure.
we don't want to just stay there in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you overcome obstacles that you can't necessarily leave behind you? You have a great story of overcoming an injury that really changed the course of your life, and it's something that you live with every day. How do you acknowledge something like that and say, okay, what am I going to do next with this?
Yeah, I think it's the reckoning moment, right? The reckoning moment is realized when we realize we cannot get back what we desire to have back after some type of trauma has impacted our life. For me, it was an amputation, but also I lost my mom in the month of December, right? And there's these things you just want, you ache for, and so we have these what I call phantom pains for that. But we can leave the past where it is and celebrate. So I have the pictures around the house of my mother. I have a plant that I see every day, and I call her mom because we take care of that. And so there are things that we can do incrementally. I think one of your other guests said earlier that we can have small wins in our lives, right? And that's what helps us get through the days. Sometimes it's hour by hour. Sometimes it's minute by minute, sometimes it's second by second. But we just celebrate, we honor that, we rip up the things that aren't serving us anymore, and we bring the things that are into the new.
You gotta celebrate even the small stuff. A win is a win.
A win's a win, absolutely a win's a win. And when you talk about it from the other standpoint, right, of going on to win a Paralympic silver medal, many people have the dream of making an Olympic team. Many people have the dream of being on the medal podium, but who actually makes it?
Right.
It's those people that do the very small things, get the small wins incrementally every single day, just pushing a little bit more for that success.
What about someone that's holding on to some sort of a hurt or a grudge? How does forgiveness play into that? How do you get yourself to that space where you can let go for your own sake? Because it really helps us, right, when we forgive. Yeah,
I think, Maya Angelou was one that said it best, and that forgiveness is not for the other person, forgiveness is for ourselves. Because if we hold on to that baggage, I guarantee you the other person's not thinking about it.
No.
At all.
They're good.
So they're sleeping well at night while you were tossing and turning.
So true.
And I'm guilty of just that as well. So so that's the moment when we realize that's happening to us. We begin to move forward with it. We begin to, okay, this is what's going on in my life. How do I release that? And just, totally just release it. And totally in forgiveness, because that is for us to make sure, like your guest was saying, decluttering ourselves, right? So even as we're decluttering stuff that's around the house, we have to declutter our house in this temple. That's beautiful. What are you looking forward to this year, personally, professionally? What's exciting for you in 2024? It's all, I was asking, of course, the next thing, right? It's the next speech. It's the new audience member. But for me, it's really investments. It's investments in my family. It's investments in not only just the business, but what makes us expand. This is my 5th year in business right now. And it's just amazing to see, I've been working for the Olympic Committee for 15 years. I
That's
worked for
so
the military for
cool.
10 years.
Yeah.
And now what do I want to do?
Yeah.
And so I can declutter and focus in and hone in on what I desire to do, not for just myself to grow, but to really be that inspiration, to breathe life into others.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Great to see you. Thank you so
Oh,
much for
thank you so
stopping
much.
by.
Absolutely.
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
And we'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.